Ezekiel Chapter 10. And I looked and saw in the expanse that was above the head of the cherubim, like a sapphire stone, having the appearance of the likeness of a throne. And he spoke to the man clothed with linen, and said, Go in among the wheels, under the cherub, and fill your hands with coals of fire from among the cherubim, and scatter over the city. And he went in before my eyes, and the cherubim were standing on the south side of the house when the man went in, and the cloud filled the inner court. And the esteem of Yahuwah went up from the cherub over the threshold of the house, and the house was filled with the cloud, and the court was filled with the brightness of the esteem of Yahuwah. And the sound of the wings of the cherubim was heard in the outer court, like the voice of El Shaddai when he speaks. And it came to be, when he commanded the man clothed in linen, saying, Take fire from among the wheels, from among the cherubim, that he went in and stood beside the wheel. And the cherub stretched out his hand from among the cherubim to the fire that was among the cherubim, and took some, and put it into the hands of the man clothed with linen, who took it and went out. And the form of a man's hand was seen under the wings of the cherubim. And I looked, and saw 4 wheels beside the cherubim, 1 wheel beside each cherub, and the wheels' appearance was like the color of beryl stone. As for their appearance, all 4 looked alike, as if a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went on their 4 sides. They did not turn aside when they went, but went in the direction the head was facing. They did not turn aside when they went, and their entire bodies, and their backs, and their hands, and their wings, and the wheels that the 4 had, were covered with eyes all around. The wheels were called in my hearing wheel, and each one had 4 faces. The first face was the face of a cherub, and the second face the face of a man, and the third the face of a lion, and the fourth the face of an eagle. And the cherubim were lifted up. It was the living creature I saw by the river Chebar. And when the cherubim went, the wheels went beside them. And when the cherubim lifted their wings to mount up from the earth, the same wheels also did not turn from beside them. When they stood still, the wheels stood still. And when one lifted up, the other lifted itself up. For the spirit of the living creature was in them. And the esteem of Yahuwah went from the threshold of the house, and stood over the cherubim. And the cherubim lifted their wings, and rose from the earth before my eyes. When they went out, the wheels were beside them, and it stood at the door of the east gate of the house of Yahweh. And the esteem of the Elohim of Israel was above them. It was the living creature I saw under the Elohim of Israel by the river Chebar, and I knew they were cherubim. 4, each one had 4 faces, and each one 4 wings, and the likeness of the hands of a man was under their wings, and the likeness of their faces was the same as the faces which I had seen by the river Chebar. Their appearances and themselves, each one went straight forward.